The Korean government is legislating relevant regulations to bring the virtual asset industry into the existing system. Ohoon Kwon, partner at Cha&Kwon Law Offices, will provide thorough explanation on regulation updates. Could you explain briefly on anti-money laundering measures based on act on reporting and using specified financial transaction information?
The Financial Action Task Force, also known as FATF, is a global organization seeking to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. In their recently announced guideline, the FATF announced a travel rule requiring service providers to store sender and receivers' crypto transaction information for transactions over a million Korean won.
Could you explain implications of the travel rule?
Travel rule has been implemented since March 2021. Because this rule requires transaction information of both destinations, transaction information will be tracked. This may make it difficult to transfer cryptocurrencies from domestic exchanges to foreign exchanges such as Binance.
Could you explain briefly on the virtual asset consumer protection law?
While the virtual asset industry is expanding, the lack of relevant regulation is shifting the risk to consumers. Thus, the Korean government is preparing to legislate virtual asset consumer protection law.
Could you explain the implications of it?
If such laws are implemented, the chances are high that the government will allow security-type tokens. It has been reported that the Financial Services Commission is currently examining measures to legalize security tokens under the Capital Markets Act. Regulation on stable coins like USDT are also expected.
Could you explain about the new VASP licenses?
In compliance with the FATF guidelines, the Korean National Assembly amended the Act on the reporting and use of specific financial transaction information. This is the AML law in Korea. The amendment requires VASPs to partner with Korean banks to create real name verified bank accounts and receive ISMS certifications. But since this license only guarantees that the VASPs do not violate anti-money laundering laws, the need for additional license that approve the VASP business itself is arising. The specific details, such as whether the license will be issued via registration system or permit system, is yet to be decided.
Could you explain the ICO regulations?
Due to the lack of regulation and trust in cryptocurrencies, the Korean government banned ICOs in September 2017, which only to see startups turning to foreign investments. This led to financial service commissions to announce the need to include ICOs under Capital Market Act in Korea. So according to the recent report which the FSC submitted to the National Assembly, the FSC plans to introduce regulation that incorporates ICOs under the system. Only corporate bodies will be qualified for initial coin offerings, and the submission of white paper is expected to become mandatory. It is also expected that DeFi services will have to receive relevant license as well in order to continue their services under this new law.
Will there be any regulations on market making?
Traditionally, market making is the conduct of buying cryptocurrencies from one investor and selling to another for the purpose of providing market liquidity. However, some market makers are doing it to manipulate the market price. As specific regulation on the virtual asset industry are being implemented, there is a high chance that prohibition on the use of material non-public information will be applied to price manipulative market making conducts as well. The Korean government is adapting to the expansion of virtual asset industry and trying to incorporate the industry into the existing system. As cryptocurrencies are becoming financialized, the government is starting to use relevant regulations. Cha&Kwon Law Offices will provide regulatory updates at your service, so please feel free to contact us by visiting our website below. If you like this video, please do not forget to press like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.